There comes a moment when we can't think about it anymore. We have to move. Can you feel it too? That buildup inside of us. The words, the decisions, the dreams that have been waiting for permission. And it's no longer about waiting. No longer waiting for the right time, because this is the time. It's the now. Because the future we keep talking about doesn't just happen. We need to show up. We need to build it. One truth, one choice, one bold step at a time. And something inside of us whispers, enough planning. It's time to walk it. So this is where clarity meets conviction, where we stop rehearsing for the life we want and we step into it. We start living it. So let's break down the energy together. We'll start with the numerology, then we will do the astrology, then of course we'll turn to the cards. But first, let me say thank you. Thank you for being here, for your time, your energy, your love, your support. Thank you for all of it. I send it right back to you. And it is my intention, my hope, that you leave here with more tools, a better understanding of the tools, the insight, the wisdom that you need in order to step forward with confidence, with strength, with clarity, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Welcome to your Daily Focus, November the 12th, 2025. So the 12 energy. The 12 energy is one about being in the moment. You know, if you can walk around today and just do some deep breathing, just when you think about it, when you're washing your hands, when you're standing in line for something, when you have that moment to just breathe, to be in the moment, to become aware of what surrounds us. To look at maybe a situation or an event that's playing out in our lives. And we don't want to attach emotion to these visions that we're calling upon. We want to be very logical about it. We want to understand where we have control, where we need control, and where we need to let control loose. Let go of control. There we go. Let go of the control. I'm so good at letting go of the control of taking out the garbage. I will let somebody do that each and every time. But how many of you are the ones that end up making sure that the garbage goes out? Put it on somebody else's plate. You can use your time, your energy better. If we look at, 1 plus 2 is the 3. I guess I should go there. The 3 is such a beautiful energy, and it's very transformative. It's our thoughts. It's our words. It's our voice. It's our communication. It's about leading the way through curiosity and seeing what life has in store for us if we dare to look behind the curtain. And the daily numerology would be a 2 plus a 3 plus a 9. That gives us a 14. We talked, I think, in length yesterday about the 14 energy. 14 energy is about making that true balance for ourselves, what we actually need in order to feel safe, in order to feel love, support, accomplishment. How do we know when it arrives? And it's about understanding that just because everybody else has one or does it that way doesn't mean you need to. You can have your own script anytime you want for anything you want to do. 1 plus 4 is a 5, and that is about creating happiness and joy and giggles in the moment. Very much like the 12 energy, once again, being in the moment, but this time we are just feeling alive. We're allowing happiness and joy and creativity to flow. We're allowing our inner expression to flow. We stand in our truth and we marvel at all the happiness and joy we have in our life. Create it, look at, even in some of the worst situations, look at where the joy may be. And it might be hard to find, but there is joy wrapped up in every experience. Okay, astrology. Sun is in Scorpio. Moon is in Leo. I think until about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it'll move into Virgo. And Mercury conjuncts Mars today. Okay, so I mean, this is the ignition point for everything. Mercury's about to take us through um, conversations over the next coming weeks, right? Mercury meets Mars, and that means thought meets drive, words meet action. And this is where we start saying what we really mean and taking our first steps forward. So, stepping into our beliefs, stepping into our truth. And that's when the magic begins. The energy can feel focused, definitely fiery. It's in Sagittarius, for goodness sakes. It comes through fast. Conversations are bold. And, these moments, it sets the tone for the rest of Mercury's retrograde. Mercury will be talking all close up and personal to Venus and the moon, as well as the sun. So, all of our personal planets. So the story we start today, the one we put our voice or motion to, will evolve over the next few weeks. And by the time Mercury goes direct at the end of November, we'll see how this initial spark has maybe reshaped a relationship in our life or has built our confidence in some way, our strength, our power, how we are landing on our path forward now. And before we take action or we say something, we have to ask ourselves, what truth am I serving here? Because I know that my words and my choices will echo for a period of time. They matter. So with this energy, definitely patience is in order. We need to think things through. We need to, think things through. Okay? The same fire that I'm talking about pushing us forward. Okay, also, fuels that truth. And sometimes that can burn bridges. Sometimes we can speak out of turn or we can assume. We need to pause, we need to breathe, we need to reflect on an energy like this. Okay, we know Mercury's in retrograde, so what does that mean? Messages can get misinterpreted or rushed. We might miss half of what we want to say in the sentence, and it reads different now as we send that text off. We say that thing out loud before thinking about it. So we have to be very cautious to avoid things like ultimatums or assumptions. Assumptions can be horrifying. So I guess the biggest risk under this energy is being impulsive. So where should you put your energies? Well, ask yourself, what truth have I been holding back that now needs a voice? Well, you know what? We're going to have to ask ourselves a second question then. Because then we have to ask, how can I express what I feel with clarity and not chaos? But it'll be the things that matter most to us that will have our attention right now, of speaking it, of voicing it, of having the conversations around it. The conjunction of Mercury and Mars is the start of a larger story that unfolds throughout the rest of the month. Well, actually, pretty well the rest of the year. One that we will one that will rewrite how we communicate, how we create, how we lead. So speak with courage and act with purpose. And remember, every sentence we form and every step we take is carving out the new direction we'll walk into as we walk into 2026. So it's a powerful time we're going through. Absolutely. Let's turn to the cards, okay? Let's turn to the cards. Oh, I didn't check to see what the card was underneath. Oh, I was getting really good at that too. Okay, here we go. Let's cut the cards. And our underlying energy is, look at that, the Magician. Yeah, this is a time of us saying, you know what? I want this in my life. I want to manifest this. I want to make it something tangible in my life. I want it to be real. I want it to be every day. I want it to be consistent. I want it to grow. I want it to flourish. I want it to mature. I want the successes. I want the happiness. I want the joy. This is the time when we really, really have to say it. Say it aloud. Write it out in a journal. Meditate on it. Think about your tomorrow, of who you are becoming, of who you want to become, of who you want to step into being. Maybe that is the new volunteer at the hospital, or the senior's home, or the school ground. Maybe it's in the library. Maybe you start a group of people to get together based on your own interests that are also their interests. Maybe you finally ask that person out for a cup of coffee or a walk through the park. Maybe you finally sit down with your partner and start talking about healthy boundaries, so that life is a win-win for both of you together. Maybe it's about changing our diet or exercise and creating a healthier self. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. What do you want? What truly matters most to you? Is it abundance? Is it prosperity? Is it spirituality? Is it love? Is it health? Is it career? This is a time to ask for it. Absolutely. I can't think of a better card to actually come out. And then we have the Six of Wands that says, you know what? If you haven't been successful in the past, you wouldn't be here right now. So you have had successes, many successes. And it's time to look back and understand truly your accomplishments of being in the here and now, because life is not an easy path. And so the fact that you are here today is a statement of the things that you have learned, your skills, your talents, your abilities, your unique you, your unique self. And understanding that you have the capability to allow that horizon to expand in your life. To step where you want to step. What has been calling you? People have dreams and hopes and wishes and desires in their heart. And trust me, you would not have those things in your heart if you weren't invited to participate in that kind of energy. Some people dream their whole life of being a pilot, say flying a plane. Okay, I have never ever had that. Okay, but those people turn into pilots. Love the skies, love looking down to through the clouds at the earth below as they go along their day, right? I've never had the inkling to. And so what is your dream? What is your want? What is your passion? This is a time to take that step towards it. We're in full armor here. We hold the messages or the mission in our hand. We're ready to go forward and do what needs to be done in order to have success. It is not a time to rest on your laurels. And when people praise you, say thank you. We have the Page of Swords. Oh, she's, this is a lack of patience, really is. We say or do something just for the sake of doing it or saying it, just to shake up the energy, just to see what happens. Doesn't even matter at this point if it's good or bad. I just need something to change in my life, so I'm going to say this out loud and see how everybody reacts. And chances are it won't turn out to your liking, to your favor, to your successes going forward, because we didn't think it through. This is one where we must sit in quiet contemplation, have conversations with ourselves. She's also one where the veil is very thin. She does denote that the veil is very thin, and they are listening to us and they are hearing us. And I am a firm believer that, we chose our lives before we got here. To some degree. Not everything, but the main points and stuff. And of course, I do believe that we have angels and guides that stand beside us or look down upon us, walk with us. And I think, before we came here for our life lessons, we picked a few times where, if I really go to the left field, that's when you can come down and pull me in, okay? That's when you can do something. But I think the rest of the time, their hands are kind of tied on telling us what we can do and where we can go for the greatest success because we have free will. And so when we shed a tear, our angels are sobbing. So we have to ask them for the help. We have to say, I need you. Take this from me and deal with it because I cannot. Help me walk this path of fire. Bring me through the other side safe and sound. And I think that's when they can, because we have formally asked them. But I think the rest of the time we're on our own unless we ask for their help. So this is the time when they will hear us loud and clear of what we really want to step into and start to create that path to our liking. And then, of course, we have the Judgment card. Strong energy coming out these days. The Judgment card. This is a rebirth. This is a reset. This is sometimes being well rewarded for the things that you have done in the past where you thought there was no payout, nobody was watching, it didn't matter if you did or didn't. Now it is clear that you're glad that you made those moves or you're upset that you didn't. And don't get upset with yourself because you were supposed to go that path so that you would learn from it. Because here we are sitting with the energy again, a point of stepping into that path that, maybe you made it. How many of you are still doing your New Year's resolution? Okay, for those who are, this card could mean that, wow, you're really going to get rewarded for, that 10, 11 months of hard work. And for others of us, it's a wake-up call to say, you know what? I didn't do well at the start of the year, but I can end it well. I can get back up on that horse and ride again. I can try this. I can be successful. I have the capability. Okay. The ancient stones. Oh, thank you for giving me that detailed scenario. I went and I stared at the card and I saw all the things that you saw. That was just so amazing to do through your eyes. So, please, everybody, these cards are. I mean, we might not get a card that really does it today, but usually, if you just meditate on the card or slightly lose your focus, you see more. You see different things within the pictures. Anyways, we have Be the Mountain. Be the Mountain. So it could be one of those ones where we start to see different things. Okay, so let me get that out in the book. Be the Mountain. Gone too far. I'm holding it open the whole time and I'm flipping back through here. Meanwhile, the book is wide open to it. Okay. Mountains symbolize inner strength and solidity. We've often been captivated by mountains, perhaps of their sheer size and scale. Many mountain ranges are visible from space or because they represent wide, strong foundations while reaching ever skyward. Those who reach the summits of mountains find their way above the clouds and can see farther than ever before, gaining new perspectives the higher they go. The thing about mountains is that without those strong, wide, solid foundations, the heights wouldn't be reached. So be the mountain. It's a reminder to go slow and steady with your goals so that you can soar higher than ever before, to ensure that you have strong, steady foundations so you can reach to the heavens. Is a reminder that no matter how harsh the wind blows, nothing can knock you off center because you draw your strength from within. The shape of a mountain resembles a triangle, and the equilateral triangle is the strongest shape there is. No matter how much pressure you put on each of its sides, it cannot be broken, for it draws its strength from within. The speed of the soul and our will can cause us to push ourselves for longer than is sustainable. The ancient stones have been here since the beginning, and they were always urging us to slow down to the speed of the earth. The essence of the message here is to slow down so you can speed up. The ancient stones activation is the card even there anymore? There we are. I'm not in a rush. It's safe for me to go slow and steady. I focus on my foundations and draw my strength from deep within. And we need to note that, okay? I was started to go down a rabbit hole today, but I stopped myself. But it's only like Mars. Well, Mars went retrograde earlier in the year, so we won't see Mars going retrograde this year, or even I believe next year. It's not till 2027 we'll see a retrograde in Mars. And correct me if I'm wrong there, but from what I could see from my vantage point of the rabbit hole. Um, so there's Mars and Pluto, and I think there's one other planet that isn't retrograde. Uranus is retrograde. Jupiter just went retrograde. Yeah, like I think almost everything. So it is a slow and steady pace that we have to have right now. This is a beautiful time to go within and start having those conversations with ourselves about what we truly want to step into. And sometimes that's hard to do. Sometimes we fail. We open up our mouths to say something we want, and we go, well, I don't know what I want. Really, I don't know where I should direct my energy. And that's totally human, and that's totally fine. So start telling yourself some things that you definitely do not want. And watch your brain switch over to, but we would like this. I don't want this, or this in my life going forward. Your brain will start to kick in of, but we want this, and this. And it could just be the roof over the head. It could be food in the fridge. It could be money in the bank, but to start to invent and imagine your year of 2026. Speaking of that, okay, I got this out on, oh, where is it? I thought I had it on my bookshelf down here. I tried this and I put it through Amazon, and Amazon does things a lot differently than Lulu does. And so it's a horrible printed book, okay? It's a horribly printed book. It's laid out really bad. But I did it because I was mainly going to do it in Kindle form. There's no discount on this or anything, but I do take you through the bigger planets moving. So this really covers January to June. I think the last planet to move will be Jupiter moving into Leo, but it also gives you the astrology for each and every person for these great moves, things that you can harness, meditations you can do, how it will affect us, how it will affect our communities at large, the collective, okay? Because when the big planets move, it's about the collective. And this book is really, the energy of the next, well, Jupiter's usually just a year, but Saturn's 3, and we go on from there to a 20-year. Okay, and I even include Pluto in there because Pluto is really the one, but you can only get that on Amazon. I don't even know if I have the link in the box, but what I wanted to bring up to you is, oh, this bookshelf was not a good idea. Okay, every day I choose me 2026. Yeah, we'll get to the animal card in just a second. Okay, 365-day journal of self-love and growth. And I give you every day, except for I think 4 or 5 in here. Lots of space for journaling. Okay, it's durable. It's got a huge spiral on it. So when you are finally down on these pages back here, you're not having pages rip out or, flimsy. It's not flimsy. Okay, that one's on Lulu. The link's in the description below. And then this one is on Lulu, but I also got it on the Kindle form on Amazon, okay, because people were requesting that. Every day I choose me, it was too big to kind of do that. I was getting refusals and stuff. But this really just takes you through the new moons, the full moons, the different times of the year, like the solstices and stuff like that, giving you rituals to do, habits to form, things to think about. Both of these books are based on the astrology and the numerology. This one, it would be like I'll show you how bad this is, okay? Because obviously there's a different typesetting than for like Lulu wouldn't have had it look like this, but Amazon, like every page is like way up there. Some of it might even be a line or two blurred out, but it is in the Kindle form, okay? And how the pages lay out and stuff. It's just, ugh. But I mean, it's there, and the information's good. I'm gonna set these over here. Little bookshelf doesn't work well. The information's really good. The links are down below. I'll check about the 2026. I don't know if I even put that in there. Because I was going to redo it because it was horrible, but I've obviously run out of time to redo it and reformat the entire document again. So I'm not going to really promote it. If you want it in the print form, all the words are there. It's just it doesn't look very tidy. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Okay, maybe I should use more of that AI because apparently with AI you can do it like 3 minutes. You have your book, but it wouldn't be me saying it then, would it? Okay, here we go. Our animal is, let's believe, the horse. So this is really a day of faith and belief in ourselves and what we want, and knowing that we don't need to sit around waiting for permission to make the decisions, to step into the new beginnings, to imagine the new beginnings. So we've got the unicorn. But I want you to have a fabulous 2026. I mean, if you listen to the astrologers alone, they're telling you we've never had a year quite like this. We're going from a 9 year to a 1 year. And I don't even cover in those books really Venus becoming our morning star at the beginning of the year. Like there's so much happening. Mercury is going through backwards through a lot of stuff so that we know who we are before we start having these big outward movements in our life. So believe magic, wish unexpected. Believe in yourself, and there'll come a time when others will have no choice but to believe with you. Unicorn tells you that sometimes you get so caught up in the reality of stresses of life that you forget that there is magic all around you, but especially within you. Remember to keep wishing and believing in those wishes. It's when you forget to wish that you forget to believe, that you stop receiving. And it may be little, it may be big, but the surprises and unexpected gifts happen when you least expect them. Be open to the unexpected turns in the road of life. That's an important part of your success. By letting go of some of the controls and allowing yourself to ride through life unplanned but with a vision, a dream, a faith, a belief, the twists and turns may in fact lead you to the most wonderful surprises. So, yes, this is a time when we need to be a little flexible. We need to be open to a different perception, a different understanding, a different walk. None of us will be the same by the time 2026 closes, and I'm not even going to tell you about what comes next because it just gets better from there. But this is the real transformative era that this planet, this collective, has never ever witnessed or gone through before, and it will be, I think, quite. Things will change so quickly all the time that we will have a hard time keeping up to everything that is new and novel in our lives going forward, collectively and personally. Anyways, until we meet again, remember, I do love you.